Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to my presentation. Applying data analysis assignment 1. This is Harshraj. So let me take you into my presentation. This is the content of my presentation. I start with an overview, then the exploratory data analysis using Jupyter Notebook. Here I have inputted my screenshots about the dataset, coding process, and also insights. Finally, I conclude my findings and also I have added my references. The overview. The dataset contains CO2 emissions and fuel consumption of different vehicles in Canada from 1995 to 2021. Using Python Jupyter Notebook, I will be performing EDA process to get insights about this dataset. Exploratory data analysis using Jupyter Notebook. This is about the dataset. The dataset was sourced from open.canada.ca. Let me show you the website. So this is the website from where I sourced my data. As you can see, there are many files. So I downloaded my file starting from 1995 to 1999 fuel consumption ratings till 2021 fuel consumption ratings. As you can see, there are many files. So I downloaded all these files into my local drive, and then using Excel, I combined these files into a single CSV file. After combining into a single CSV file, I had I the final rows were 25,113 and 15 columns. As we can see, the data contains CO2 emission, fuel consumption, and also some details about the vehicles. Now let us go into the coding, which I will show you on the Jupyter Notebook. To start, I imported all the libraries. Import pandas as PD, import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT, then Seaborn as SNS, and also percentage formatter from matplotlib.ticker. This percentage formatter is used to calculate the cumulative percentage, which I will be showing you later. This is my link to my data source file. Uh, the next step was to import the dataset into my Jupyter notebook. So I use this code pd.read underscore csv. Since my dataset was in my local drive, I used my local path. After importing the dataset, I wanted to inspect my data whether for any abnormalities. So first was an visual inspection. For this, I used the code df.head. So this gives me a small snippet of my data. As we can see, this df.head gives the first 5 rows as default for any dataset. And my dataset, from the looks of it, there are no abnormalities. Next, I inspected the data using df.shape. So this gives me the total number of rows and columns. We can see it is 25,113 rows and 15 columns, which is correct. After that, I checked for null values. For this, I used the code df.savename.sum. can see that there are null values in CO2 rating and smog rating, but I'm not going to use these two columns for my analysis, so it is not going to impact my analysis. The next step was to check for any duplicate values. So I use the code df.duplicated.ini, and we can see there are duplicate values, but these duplicate values will not have any impact on my analysis. After inspecting my data, the next step was to prepare my data for plotting the various charts. The first chart I wanted to plot was a Pareto chart, and the Pareto chart. Uh, so for the Pareto chart, I had to prepare my data accordingly. So the first code I used was group by. I wanted to group my data set as per the vehicle class and also calculate the mean for it. So I used the code df underscore g df dot group by vehicle class and dot mean. This round command to rounds the values to two, two decimals. Here we can see after running the code, here we can see the data is grouped as per the vehicle class and the mean is also calculated, and it has only two decimals. My main focus is on CO2 emissions. Before proceeding to the Pareto chart, next step was to sort my values. So I wanted to sort my CO2 emissions column. So I used this code df underscore g dot sort values by CO2 emissions, that is this column, in a descending order. So ascending equals to false. After sorting my values, the next step was to calculate the cumulative percentage. So to calculate the cumulative percentage, I use this formula df underscore g CO2 emissions, that is the cumulative sum of my CO2 emissions column divided by the sum of CO2 emission into 100. So this will give me my percentage, and I rounded off it to two decimal places using the round code. Now my data is ready for plotting. Here we can see the CO2 emissions is sorted in a descending order, and the cumulative percentage is also calculated and inserted into the table. The next step is to plot the Pareto chart. The first code I used is AX equals to plot dot subplots figure size equals to 22, 10. So this code defines the plot size for my Pareto chart. Next was plotting the bars, the Pareto chart. So AX dot bar df.g.index comma df underscore g CO2 emissions. Basically, this is my x-axis and this is my y-axis. df underscore g dot index is the vehicle class, and df underscore g CO2 emissions gram per kilometer is this column. The next was to name my chart title and the axis titles. So I use this code ax.set underscore title So the name of my chart is Pareto chart, CO2 emissions by vehicle class, and this defines the font size and the color for my title, and likewise the for my X label, which is vehicle class, and Y label, which is CO2 emissions gram per kilometer. Next code I used is plot.xtix. What this code does is rotate my X labels 90 degrees. This is only for a visual perspective because certain labels were longer which overlapped on other labels which made it hard to read. That is why I use this code. It is very simple. Rotation 90 degrees, horizontal alignment right, font weight light, and font size is 14. The next one was to plot my cumulative percentage. So this is the code I used. Uh, Here we can see that my x-axis is a vehicle class, that is df underscore g dot index, and my y-axis is df underscore g cumulative percentage, that is my y-axis. And all this is like this red is for the line color and D is a marker. This is my Pareto chart. Here we can see that these four vehicle classes, that is subcontract, mid-size, compact, station wagon, small. These are the least polluting vehicle classes, whereas passenger van and cargo van are the most polluting vehicle classes, which is more than 300 grams per kilometer. Next step was to find the best correlation between data set. So I used the Seaborn library to plot my heat map. So I defined my plot size. Then I used the heat map code. For this heat map, I used my original data, that is the ungrouped data, not the group data, not this one, but the original data which I imported first. So this is my heat map. So here we can see that the CO2 emission is greatly correlated with combined fuel consumption, which is 0.93, which is very closer to 1. So using this, I plotted my next chart, which is a scatter plot. Again, I use the Seaborn library. Here, I use the same my initial data DF. The x-axis as fuel consumption combined and y-axis as CO2 emissions. And also I added another variable, engine size. So here we can see as the fuel consumption rate increases, the CO2 emission also increases. And as the engine size, the bigger the engine, the bigger is the CO2 emission. To conclude, my insights are smaller vehicle classes emit less CO2, whereas SUVs and larger vehicle classes emit the most CO2. There is a stronger correlation between CO2 emission and the fuel consumption rate of a vehicle. The higher the fuel consumption rate, greater the CO2 emission. With this insight, I would like to end my presentation. Thank you.